Well, it's an ongoing investigation. Obviously, with like any time you have any challenges, you get the information that you can. You deal with it in the most appropriate way that you can with the information that you have at the time. But it's something that I want to tell you, the kids have been really good. Having the news come out on game day was obviously a challenge, but at the same time too, it's a really good group of young men. Went out and beat number 5 Vanderbilt 2 out of 3, and obviously have a big series this weekend too.
With that investigation, have the players been cleared of any sort of wrongdoing?
We have nothing that has shown us to believe that there's anybody we don't have any information that shows that anything with any of our student athletes are involved. Gambling and the acceptance of it has changed dramatically, right? With online gaming, and that's a societal decision. That's a societal issue. And we obviously have a lot of things that we train our student athletes, our coaches, and our staff about on a daily basis or on an annual basis. And I do think that from an integrity standpoint within the game, to make sure that our student athletes, our coaches, our staff understand that there has to be a separation there. It's critical. You haven't seen a lot of, you've seen some schools be pretty aggressive with embracing different, gaming outlets. We haven't done that as much, and I do think it's something. There just can't be any question from an integrity standpoint that we understand that there has to be a separation. There's multiple things you have to talk to your staff about. Yesterday, we had an all-staff meeting. We usually do a couple of those a year. We had an extra one, and what we talked about, and actually Coach Saban and I were talking, Coach and I talk regularly about different issues within Alabama athletics or challenges. We talk about different issues and challenges within college sports. And he addressed the staff, I addressed the staff, and we talked about that this year we have just last weekend we graduated 83 student athletes. Our APR numbers are as strong as anybody's out there. We have over 2,000 hours of community service. We just had 2 of the top 3 picks in the NFL draft. We're number 7 in the Directors Cup. We're the top SEC program from an athletics standpoint, and unfortunately, those things aren't getting highlighted right now, and we're proud of that. We've got an incredible group of young men and young women in our department who are doing a really good job of representing the University of Alabama. I got a call from a friend out west who I've known for a long time, really wise person. And he called and he said, "Greg, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing okay." And he said, "Let me ask you something." He said, "How many student athletes do you have at Alabama?" I said, "Approximately 650, give or take." He said, "How many staff members do you have?" I said, "About 350. He said, "I've seen some of the news and things like that." And he said, "How many of those staff members and student athletes are creating some of this challenge?" And I said, "Probably about 5, 6 people." And he said, "It's important when you manage that you understand that's 1/2 of 1% of your entire department, and that you have 99.5% of your student athletes and your coaches and your staff who are doing a really good job." And they are, and we're proud of them for that. And don't lose sight of that as you're talking about your department, as you're talking about your university, because we're having a really solid year in many ways. There's things we have to get better at, and we take that seriously. But I'm also really proud of a lot of the accomplishments that we've had, and I think it's good to talk about those things.